Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alta Call. I am your host, Tane, here to talk about Traitors Season 4, Episode 7, aka Black Banquet. And I'm so glad for my guest today. It is from a Perfect Match podcast, Miss Asia Wealth. I didn't say Welch, I said Wealth because Jason taught me.
Don't listen to that man.
Hi, Asia. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Very excited to be here. I'm so glad this is the episode we get to talk about. Oh
Yes.
my goodness, there's
Yes.
so many. I feel like this was the episode that is like the pivot. Like
Yes.
they're so long this season. I'm just like, oh, these faithful have lost. Like, what is the
Yeah.
point? And then I
Mhm.
feel like this episode really changed things, or
Yes.
could potentially change things.
Yes.
So very, very excited to talk about it.
Yes, like I was telling you before we started recording, I am glad you are my guest because it'll be interesting to have a gamer's point of view. There's so many strategy talk that I feel like and questions that I have throughout this episode. So I'm ready to get into it. But before we do, reminding you guys, patreon.com/altacall MAFS. I am covering The Other Way. The Tell Alls Part 1 is up. Part 2 will be up next week. And I'm also covering on the regular feed Suddenly Amish, the new TLC show that I don't know what direction they're going into, but I'm making sense of it for you. And I cover that every 2 weeks. So check that out when it comes out on your feed. Okay. This episode, everyone has been hyping it up. Alan was saying, like, oh, something happens, episode 7. And I've seen people say, oh, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But for me, it was a really good episode, like you said. So, um,
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know what, and I have been seeing opinions of people just like, I don't know why this happened. I don't
yeah,
know why this happened. This shouldn't
yeah,
have been allowed to happen.
yeah,
Y'all, at the end of the day, I just always have to remember it's a television show.
it
Okay.
sure is.
So many people treat this like it's life or death.
Yeah.
This is life or like fake death, right? Like we're this is for entertainment purposes
Yes,
only,
it
really.
is.
Even with money on the line, it is still all the contracts they sign is for
Yeah.
entertainment purposes only. So I'm just gonna take what entertainment I get and react to that, as opposed to thinking, oh, Jam Jam shouldn't have said this,
Yeah.
or oh my gosh, uh, he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. And he didn't die, people.
Yeah,
Contrary to
he is
popular
alive and
belief,
well.
he was just dragged away.
Right, go look at log on to Instagram today, you will see him everywhere.
It is. And the thing is, like, the fandom for not just a show, a lot of shows, they're doing too much now. And it's like, we can't have nice things. Everyone's taking everything
Truly.
so seriously. And it's like, please don't suck the fun out of it. Like, this is what our outlet, for
Yeah.
joy. So I don't know where we're going. But I ask everyone who comes on as a guest this question: are there three people who you were not familiar with before you started this season that now you're like, huh, I like this person?
Oh,
They,
okay, I like that question. Um,
they could be
first
evicted. They could be evicted.
okay.
Yes.
First and foremost, Candace.
Okay.
I am I keep up with the Real Housewives franchise from afar. I don't watch
Okay.
any of them. I know I would love it. Like, it's
Yes.
not even, I'm not above it. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not gonna sit there and watch all them episodes. No,
Yeah.
if I sat down and watched them, I know I would thoroughly enjoy them. I couldn't put it down. That's why I haven't started. Like, I know myself. That's why, like, I'm the type of person where I don't watch commercials
Mhm.
because I am a sucker for buying things that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yes, I do need the Scrub Daddy because
Mhm.
they just showed me it. So I know if I sit down and like thoroughly enjoyed, I know that if I sit down and watch Housewives, I would thoroughly enjoy it. But
Mhm.
Candace is somebody I was not familiar with because I just, like, you hear names from
Mhm.
Potomac, but I just, I think it's only Atlanta that
Yeah.
I knew, like, I knew who said that. Like, I
Yeah.
know all the viral, like,
Yeah.
I was very excited when I heard that at the round table when
Yeah.
Portia got banished. I was like, yes, the callback. And I'm like, and I've
Yeah.
never watched.
Yeah.
But with Candace, oh my gosh, she is so entertaining. I'm
Mhm.
just like, I am so drawn to her, and I'm just always looking for how she's going to react to something, what she's going to say. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh my God, I bet she's just gold, like, in her own environment.
Yeah.
So
We've
the
come a
amount
long
of,
way with
yeah,
her. Yes.
The amount of times I watched the clip of her talking and reacting about Rob saying, "Oh, there's a murder in plain sight." She's like, how you telling me what I'm doing? Like, yes,
Bitch.
you're right.
Yes, yes.
So she's amazing. So
Mhm,
I love watching her on the Traitors.
mhm.
Um, you know, Mora, I don't watch Love Island either.
Okay.
She seems interesting. Like she seems like like there's so much more to see than what we're getting to
Yes,
see. Like
yes,
if she were a traitor, like we would, obviously
yes.
so much more of her, or if her name was being floated around, we get so much more of her. But she's
Mhm.
who I can see why she was cast in the first place.
Yes,
Love Island.
yes. She's
Um,
not at her full potential, but
yes.
she's giving enough for you to have an idea that, yes, there's something about her that's compelling. Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm struggling coming up with a third because I know everyone else, it seems. Like
Okay,
I loosely watched Dancing with the Stars.
okay.
Um, I was deep in the Bachelor franchise, definitely in
Mhm.
Colton's era. And then of course Survivor, Big Brother,
Yes.
and then Donna Kelsey. I mean, like
Yeah.
you watch football, you're familiar. You're loosely familiar.
Yeah.
So trying to think if there was anyone. Oh, the figure skaters.
Tara
Um,
and Johnny.
Yes, I
Okay,
do like I like Tara. I
okay.
think that she seems she's kind of like unintentionally funny. It's just she's just like so aloof to what's going on. I think it's just like she's somebody that I just like to watch for entertainment.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Thank you for your 3. I think I said this week that Tara was the charade of this
Yes.
season. Like,
Yes.
she's just not aware,
Yes.
but she's so wrong, but I'm here. I'm
I'm
participating.
gonna make my voice known. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Uh
Okay.
but
Okay, cool.
Good. Oh, but then yeah, if I think about someone who isn't on the show anymore, Ron. I wasn't familiar with him, but
Mhm.
oddly enough, I listened to um, Amy Poehler's podcast,
Mhm.
the Good Hang podcast, and
Mhm.
I listened to the one with what's her name from Bridesmaids. She
Uh,
impersonated Kamala on SNL.
not
Yes,
Minnie Riperton's daughter. Maya
Maya Rudolph.
Maya
Yes.
Rudolph.
So, when Amy Poehler interviewed Maya Rudolph,
Mhm.
she always talks to someone that's close to them
Mhm.
before
Oh.
the interview, and she talked to Ron. And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh my gosh, I recognize his name because he's about to be on the Traitors." But that
Yeah.
literally is my first introduction to him. I wasn't
Mhm.
familiar with him at all,
Yeah.
and I love going to comedy shows. So if he comes to Houston, I might go.
Okay. If I see an alert, I'll let you know. He's
Yes.
on.
Okay.
He's going on tour. Okay, that was fun. I like that. That was like a all over for this full spectrum. Except you knew all
Mhm.
the gamers, so you weren't gonna have
Yes.
a gamer anyway. So
Mhm.
okay, so to refresh everyone's memory, we are at the banquet that Alan had told them to get ready for. Everyone came dressed to kill. There are tarot cards on the table.
Most people came dressed to kill.
Honestly, even the bad ones came to kill us. So to
Yes,
me,
true.
they came to kill.
True, true,
But
true,
yes, but for
true.
the most part, I mean, I think everyone was good or for bad. It was memorable. I think
Yes,
everyone understood the assignment.
yes.
So they came in,
And
yeah.
that's all we could ask for.
Yes, exactly. Everyone is on pins and needles because usually when there's a murder in plain sight, they don't know, but everyone is anticipating a murder at this point. So everyone's just on edge. And Rena comes last, which to me is just like, that's so sus, but it's Rena. So
And I was really wondering if it was an editing thing
yeah,
or what. I was like, really was looking around the room and I was like, no, I feel like everyone is accounted for and she legitimately came last. And I'm
she
just
did.
like, that does look suspicious.
Very. Yeah, she said it and she's like, "Well, I want to make a fashionably late entrance." And I'm like, "Huh, you really don't care, do you?" And
Yeah.
she actually says it's the Super Bowl of murder and she likes to be the center of attention. And she goes over to Johnny, they exchange pleasantries. And what do you actually think of the whole killing by the amulet? Like, is it too obvious? Is it genius? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I like it. I
Okay.
think that it is something, especially the fact that they had to choose who could wear it,
Mhm.
which that kind of limited the options because is Rob going to wear that with the with the outfit
Yeah.
he brought? Like,
Yeah.
is that fitting? It could have been fitting. Like, I don't think it
Yes.
would have looked weird if like Mark had it on.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been, or even Jam Jam. I think it
Mhm.
would have been fitting for their outfits, but I like the idea of someone touching it, but I felt like it had to be more than touching, because what if someone had just adjusted it? What if
Yes.
Dorinda had just walked up to her and said, "Hey, girl, straighten it up," and then
Yes.
did they? Is it just up to production's discretion to say, "Oh, that didn't count. Let's
Yes.
do the real touching"? So
Yes.
I felt like that it could have been a slippery slope if
Yes.
someone like her friend just decided to touch it. Then it's like, oh, would they have just said, "Oh, well, your friend touched it, so oops."
Yes. That we're on the same page because that's what I said last week. I'm like, it just feels like the traders don't have a say because, like you said, if someone was just like, oh my God, that is so gorgeous, and they touch it and that's it, what happens
Yeah.
then? But the way it plays out, I feel like Rena did a really good job the way that she did it, but we'll get there because I was just shocked that Stephen Coletti tells Johnny Weir, there's a card, pick it up and flip it over. And he just does it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, sir?
Right. No hesitation.
Yes.
And I was that just a red herring? Was that just meant to
Yes.
throw them off?
Yes. I believe that's what it was because it didn't
Mhm.
come out to be anything by the end of the episode. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing, and why, I think we need gamers because every season they're so trusting. Every season I know 1000% they're faithful. How? Why?
Mhm.
And you shouldn't be that trusting. So that happened, and the cards have faces on them. He flips it and it's Kristen. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I'm suspicious. I'm like, this has to mean
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And it didn't. So Lisa starts saying, like, to Natalie, you look amazing. You look amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. No, not Natalie. She's the
I
last one
know.
standing. Go away. And Natalie's like, I'm trying to enjoy this, but this is basically one of us's funeral. I'm like,
Mhm.
correct read, correct read. She goes over to Colton, and I think that was the last time they wanted to kill him, but the whole thing happened. So I think it was on ice not to kill Colton anymore because it will be so obvious.
Obvious, yeah.
But that, and Colton has decided that he is going to be a fashionista tonight, guys. Except he kind of overdoes it with the pearls. There are pearls on his ears. There are pearls on his neck. Actually, on his chin. You know what? It's a
So
pearl
many
vest.
all on his chest.
It's a pearl vest.
Yes.
Hold down. And did you get to see the back of Rob's shirt, by the way?
Oh, I didn't.
It was like a corset. I hope it's not AI. I feel like I have to put this disclaimer because I don't, everything's so real now, but from what I
Yeah.
saw, it was like a corset at the back, and it was like a halter too. And it was
Mhm.
just laced up at the back, and I'm like, huh, he could have worn the amulet if that's the case.
Right.
But
True.
so yeah, I don't know. But yes, Lisa says that it'll be too obvious if she murders Colton, so she's not gonna do that. And she goes through her
But
options.
it just on your last point about the amulet,
Yeah.
or wait, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
No one uses it in their regular day
Yeah.
today.
I'm like, wait a second. Um, it it would have been better if
Mhm.
all 3 traders had to be involved in some capacity. Like, you have to get the same person to do 3 different things with
Mhm.
each trader,
Mhm.
because it just like, it did put a lot on Lisa,
Yeah.
who they had already decided, then sus was on her, and now they couldn't back out of it because this decision had already been made. So
Yeah.
it gave very little flexibility for the traders
Yeah.
to kinda pivot based on the round table.
I want to counter that though, that I feel like if they each had to do something, it'll be very obvious.
True.
I feel like they would have picked someone would have picked up on something and it would have
Mhm.
just been stressful. And I was waiting to say this later. I know Lisa said she did all the work and did all that, but in the last one, Rob did the work. He got the card. He
True,
when he got
yes.
Rob C out and burnt
Mhm.
him. So it was just like it was your time. And also she's like, I'll do it before anyone said anything. She was like, I'll do
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
hey, I just if it was something that all three had to do, then maybe it shouldn't have been an amulet, maybe something else.
Yeah.
But they can't do the same things every season, like drink from the cup and things like that, because
Mhm.
They got to
people would
switch
catch
things up.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, who gave me the turkey?"
You're all eating the turkey.
Right.
So, okay. So Lisa decides that her three people are going to be Jam Jam, Kristen, and Natalie. And again, I'm like, no,
I
not
didn't like any of
Natalie.
those 3 options. I love Top Chef.
Really? Yeah.
I yes, I'm a Top Chef watcher.
Yes.
I did not want, Kristen to go out at all.
Yes.
Literally in my preseason press for Survivor 47, I was saying I wanted to be a threat like Natalie. And then, Jam Jam, I've met him. He's a sweet
Yeah.
guy, like, very nice. And so I was like, "No,
Yeah.
choose someone I don't know."
Yeah. For the three, right? So Natalie has met the expectations that I had for her. Now I
Mhm.
know people who hadn't watched Survivor think that she's coming on too strong, and I'm like, there's nothing you can do about it. Just deal
Yeah.
because she's a
Yeah.
competitor at heart.
Yeah.
She's just like win big or go home. I'm sure everyone has seen like the video with her and Tiffany. For
Oh,
those who don't
yeah.
know, she was talking about, once you've won, you want to have that feeling again. And Tiffany's like, oh, I won America's favorite on Big Brother. And they're like, it's not the same thing. And the competitiveness is what it is. We're used to it.
Right.
I mean, but I know how people can see it's too strong. For Kristen, I love Kristen too. I think I had an episode with Scally when we're going through the cast, and I said I'm straight, but I'm so attracted to her. So that's my only.
Right. I'm not, and I am very attracted to her, so she
So
covers everybody.
yes, exactly. And like you, I love Top Chef. I literally went to Wisconsin because it was based on there, and then I went to
Oh,
one of the
nice.
restaurants on there, and they were nice enough to give me and my
Yeah.
friend a tour in the back because we're like, they
Oh
were
my
like, "You're
gosh.
from DC? Why are you here?" We're like, "Top Chef." They're like, "Really?"
Well, yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, you gotta go," and they gave us a tour of the
Yeah, oh
whole
my gosh,
thing.
that's awesome.
So
Did you know
love Kristen.
that, there's a restaurant here in Houston that, Chef Evelyn, Chef Henry, uh,
Hmm.
that they own a restaurant in
Oh, I
Houston.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I frequent it a lot, and they're so sweet. Like, it's a
Yeah.
very intimate, restaurant,
Hmm.
and, the food's so amazing. They always do, like, restaurant nights, and they just did a Top Chef night this week where they had Chef Michelle, Chef, the winner of the last season.
Who won the last season? Where were they?
Uh,
Canada. I
what's his
can't
name?
remember, but it was in
Black guy.
Canada. Oh, Tristan.
Tristan. Yeah, I was like, his
How
name
could I
starts with a
forget?
T. Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
him, yeah, and then Henry and Evelyn, and so, yeah, there's this nice, like, Top Chef Houston
Community.
community here,
Yes.
yeah, they, like, are always at, like, farmers markets and stuff, so I'm always, like, trying food from different chefs, so,
Ugh,
yeah,
y'all
I
are
can
so
definitely
lucky.
relate.
So lucky. Isn't Chef Tiffany from Houston also? Was she?
No, it's Chef,
The track? I'm
not
mixing
what's
it
her
up.
name? Not Tiffany,
Okay.
she has short hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
her name
see
is
her.
escaping me, but I know exactly who you're talking
Yes.
about. She's
It'll come to
black.
me. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You guys get them. Yes, and then Jam Jam, I feel like we have not this Jam Jam did not flourish in this game and this season, and I feel like the whole
Mm-mm.
not getting shields and then they made him paranoid and it just wasn't the Jam Jam that we knew on Survivor and
Yeah, it's
won.
like his light was dimmed a little bit.
Yes.
Like, he just I
Yes.
mean, I think he was trying to play up being so like, "Oh, I just don't wanna die, like, I just don't wanna
Yes.
be murdered,"
Yeah.
and so he was trying to kinda, like, downplay the fact that he has won a
Mhm.
show, right?
Mhm.
But, in that, it took away from the Jam Jam that we, like,
Yes.
knew and, like, grew to know and love, and so it just was like I don't know. I obviously there has to be some happy medium, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe he just fully goes into like his personality and to relate to the to the non-gamers, but
Yeah.
yeah, he just went to the other end of the spectrum.
The thing that makes traders hard is if you are not a trader, a lot of it is out of your control.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot
Mhm.
of it is out of it,
It's
and that's hard
such
to
a lot.
adjust to
Yes.
in real time.
Yes.
So yeah, so that happened, and I was like, of the three, who would I want to go? It was Kristen. It
Really?
had to be.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm gonna talk about it at some point when she comes up, but I'm just like, she's there, but she's not fully giving anything at this
Yeah.
point, and I'm just like, if it has to be one of them, then let it be her. So, but yeah,
See, I had landed on Jam Jam. I
ooh,
just felt like he's been in this, like, one of the names being floated
Yeah.
consistently the whole
Mhm.
season, and I'm just like, "Okay, if they go ahead and do it, he's a confirmed faithful,
Faithful.
and then they can kinda shift their focus instead of, like, Colton being the only name, they can kinda open up the
Yeah,
playing field a
more
little bit."
people.
So that was
Yeah.
the only reason I was thinking Jam Jam was, like, so they can stop being so locked in on him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I know sometimes I get 2 thrills where it's like if they keep pushing a name and we know they're faithful, it's like, "Oh my god, banish them already so we can move on."
Yes,
And the other
exactly.
thing is when I know they're so wrong, I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait for them to find out that this person's a faithful." Such a
Yes.
good feeling for me.
Yes, I felt that for Ron.
Yeah.
I was like, "Cannot wait for the day
Yes.
he says he's a faithful so they can get off of his back."
Yep, it was a lot. So Lisa decides her move is, and I quote, "Ow, ow, ow. Oh shit, it's open. Can you just put this in for me?" But the editing was so great because we don't know who she's talking to.
Yep.
And they give us all three people. And she says, and just like that, the murder is done. But we don't know who yet. And I have to say, they were amping up all the dramatics, but I'll give Renner props. She killed it. And she was just floating around the room and just being
Mhm.
herself. So Rob has no idea if it's done or not. In fact, the traders are not communicating, so they have no idea
Nope.
what is happening. It's truly a solo thing. So to your point, I think yes, for next time, something that can. But the one Rob did, Candace was not involved. She did the conga
Yeah.
line, but she wasn't involved. She had no idea
Mhm.
who it was. So I don't know if they need to make it consistent where all three always have a say, or
Right,
if it's
because
okay.
it's hard to make the rules before I think it's just, like,
Mm-hmm.
all remaining traitors, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what if we are already down to 2 by the time that they had this banquet? Then it's
Mm-hmm.
only 2 traitors that need to be involved, but, yeah, I don't know if it's like, put it on the traitors too, like, okay, Lisa did the deed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the the traitor's name has to be, like, hung up, or the person murdered had to their picture has to be hung up or something by another traitor. So
Yeah.
then, like, oh, then they have to communicate without
Yeah.
other people knowing. I think that would be fun, being able to, like, have to I mean, kinda like the scene where they were trying to say, like, who they wanted to banish, but they were really no, who they were deciding who they wanted to banish out in
Yeah.
public,
Yes.
but what they were really trying to say is, um, that what they were saying was who is and who isn't a
Reason.
traitor. They
Yeah.
were trying to decide who to banish.
Yeah.
So I thought that was clever to way of just kinda, like, being able to openly communicate, so I would like to see more ways that the traitors have to communicate with each other in person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true because guys, Traders UK season 4 is not out yet on Peacock, but when he does, please 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 check it out. It's all
Mhm.
civilians and it's so good.
Is
And I
that the one
don't
that
know.
just ended?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if they're gonna do some of the challenges in the rest of this season, but there is a challenge where the traders have to come out of a cage where everybody else is and come out and say who they want to murder and then climb back in. And I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh my god, that is so risky." I'm just saying it to my point where I'm like, "Oh, someone's gonna find out." I'm like, "They took that risk and it worked out, so hey, maybe it is possible and they wouldn't do
Right.
that," because my heart was beating the entire time. I'm like, "This is too much," but
Yeah.
it is possible, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't know if it's done or not, but he's like, "You know what? I'm fine because that way I don't need to lie. I can say like I don't know what's happening and all that kind of stuff." So
Yeah.
they all sit down to dinner, they all wax poetic about each other, they all say nice things about each other until Alan barges in and he's also pearled out. There's a lot of
Yes.
pearls on him too.
Lots of pearls. One thing they did say when they were all sitting down saying nice things to each other was, they were like, "7 days ago, we didn't know each other." And I was like, "Wow, that's
Yeah.
really interesting to, like, put it in perspective that way to
Yeah.
know, like, they are only on day 7."
Yeah. So, oh, 1 day per episode because this is episode 7, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Very
for that.
true. Mhm.
He sits down and tells them the story of the black dinner, and I'm like, "Why we gotta be involved?" I'm just kidding, guys. But and he's like, "Okay, I'm breaking the news that at this banquet, one of them has been cursed to death, or as he says it, cursed to death. And, but for the first time ever, there's hope. And one of the hooded knights comes in and he has a potion. There are two vials of antidotes. And if one is taken by the cursed player, it will save them. But they have to decide who drinks the antidote. How are we feeling about this antidote?
I like it.
Okay.
I like that they have to kind of evaluate, has something happened to me, and they have to all agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really how it happened, but at least it's not like just whoever wants to go, go.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was cool because then it kind of gives like, oh wait, let me evaluate everything that has happened since I've walked into this room to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I've seen some stuff online like, why did Kristen think she needed to do? I don't blame her at all because of the card thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was completely a
Yes.
reason to think that you could have been murdered. Like
Yes.
that was totally justified. She was the only one that happened to.
Yes.
When you think about the who was cutting and who was kissing who,
Yes.
everybody was air kissing everybody, right? But with the card, that gives you reason to think, okay, I need to try to protect myself.
Yes, that was very, very valid. And I also am here for the antidote because it just came with chaos. That just
Mhm.
turned into a pandemonium, and they all had to convince each other who's got it, who's gonna get it. Jam Jam immediately panics and is like, Lisa kissed me, Lisa kissed me. And they go through what they got, what was served, and Natalie just like, I want it, I want it. And it's just chaos with everyone. And like you said, they have by the way, Alan is doing a countdown, so while they're still trying to figure out, oh my God, what was it? What was going on? Alan is like, 15 minutes, 10
Mhm.
minutes, say the name and all that. So Tara says that Dorinda served her turkey. And I'm like, you dear child. I mean, yes, but,
Right.
but okay. And then Stephen Coletti is all like paranoid and he's like, no, everyone is eating turkey and everyone is just fighting. And Rob is stuffing a hard boiled egg into his mouth while everyone
So
is.
there was a compilation on TikTok of multiple people stuffing hard-boiled eggs into
Really?
their mouth this episode. Like whether it was at breakfast or it was at the banquet. They're like, "Why are y'all going in on these hard-boiled eggs?" And people are like, "Oh, it's because they're out of salmon."
Well, they keep telling us to eat our protein, so that's
Right?
what they're doing. Oh, but I
Yes.
didn't see anyone besides Rob, so I'm
It
gonna
was,
watch it
who
again.
else was it? Was Rob, it was Mora, and there was, like, one or 2 other people
That's so
that, like,
interesting.
just grabbed it and, like, bit I think maybe Steven.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so Johnny references the card and it was like it was Kristen's face. Candace is like, I think Tara should have it. Natalie's like, I think I'm going home. I need to have it. And Kristen is like, well, you can have it. I don't play like that. You don't do that. And that's why I was like, I'm okay if she goes. I don't like when it's a competitive show and
And you
you're all,
act like you're
I
above
don't
it.
do that. I'm so classy. Oh, that's fine. Go back to hosting and looking cute, but let the people who want to fight fight. So that's why was
Yeah.
like, she could go.
Mhm.
Now is not the time for peace and love. And I was
Right.
very surprised that Jam Jam did not fight for it. And I don't know if it was edited out, but all along Jam Jam has been wanting a shield. And he had immediately like, oh, she kissed me. And he's been paranoid, but he did not seem to fight hard for the antidote, I don't feel.
He didn't know. He was not one of the people who were fighting for the antidote.
That's kind of crazy to me. Or Johnny, you're the one who flipped it. What if you touch the card and
Right.
something? So it's just, I don't, this peace and love. I don't know. I'm used to the challenge,
The
Survivor.
gamers.
People are like running for it, and you're just like, no, I'm good. I'm safe. And I'm like, must be nice to
Well,
feel
see, that's the
really safe.
problem. Like the gamers in previous seasons have set that temperature. Like they
Mm-hmm.
have set the tone of like, hey, this is how we're playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Mm-hmm.
this season, since the non-gamers are the ones kind of leading the
In
charge,
charge.
that's
Mm-hmm.
more that they've created this atmosphere of just
Yeah.
like not being overly competitive. So then if you are, it looks
Being
odd.
singled out. Yeah, it is. Well, utter chaos because at this time they are running for it, and Tara and Nally just run in there. And then Dorinda is telling Tara, like, it's not the turkey, it's a waste if you do that. But once again, Lisa is very quiet. Like, they're
Mhm.
all squabbling, they're all talking, and she's just quiet. I think Rob was quiet too. But with Rob, I think he gets away with it because I think that's his nature.
Mhm.
And he just sits back, but and everybody, there was just so much chaos, they didn't notice. But maybe again it was the editing. I don't know of what
Yeah.
they're deciding to show us. But Rena tells Tara, "Run, run, you go and get it." And then someone just tells Johnny, I think it was Jam Jam actually, grab
Just
it for
grab it.
Kristen.
Yep.
And they just grab it. I'm like, must be nice. I just sit here and not do anything, and they have
Right.
it.
She's like, "Oh, okay."
So Tara and Natalie are holding it together. They're fighting over it, and they're all saying like, "No, Tara should have it." And I just want to ask them why. Like,
Right, there was no specific reason for Tara besides Natalie really wanting it. It was
yes.
purely that, like, they were like, "No, because you really want it, no, you can't have it."
Also, even if she gets murdered, what is she adding? Natalie at least can help in the missions. So I
Yeah.
just, chuck it as take the L. Like, if it happens, we're
Mhm.
so sorry. We love you, and then move on. But they were really fighting hard for her to have it. But thank God Natalie is who she is. And she just really spoke up and she was persistent. And Maura's just like, if you want it so bad, fucking drink it. I'm like, okay, you don't have to be rude, but
Mhm.
okay. And Alan does this huge act. Can I just say that Alan is turning this hosting gig to a one man act?
Yes.
It gets grander by the season.
Yes.
He's having fun with it, though. I will say that.
And that's why he has won, what is it, an Emmy?
Yes, he
Mhm.
has. I will say, what was I listening to? I was listening to a podcast and they were going through the rankings of the different hosts. And I think my number one is Traitors Canada, Corinne.
Okay, I
I
haven't
like.
watched Traitors Canada yet.
Yeah, she's like Ellen. She's the same
Mm.
way, very like theatrical and all that, with the fashions also. Okay.
Yeah.
So Alan does this huge thing, like an act of death approaching. He walks around the table, he does this thing, and then he's just like, the player that was cursed was, at this point I thought it was Natalie. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
did too, I did too.
And I was looking forward to him saying, but she's saved. And she would have been like,
Right.
I told you, I told you. But what are the odds that the two people, 2 out of 3, actually got the antidote? Like,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So they say it is Jam Jam. And oh my God, immediately it was that. It was Lisa. It was Lisa. They
Yep.
drag him out. Like, she kissed me. Did you kiss me? And all that stuff. I gotta ask, Asia, because that's what everybody is talking about. Should he
Yeah.
have been allowed to scream and yell out that it was Lisa?
So, I think that when they do these murders that are different than the typical murder at night,
Mm-hmm.
that they're all different, right? So, if it's not gonna be a situation where someone finds out they're murdered by walking in and getting a card on the chair, then I don't know. I think it's the rule should be based on each individual murder. If the rule here was that they couldn't talk after they're murdered, then everyone would have understood that. Like it would have been like a communicated. If you
Mm-hmm.
die, you can't say anything. But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he was allowed to say, let's say that, then I don't know if it's a matter of like he was told he shouldn't say anything and he did anyway, so they couldn't just like edit that out,
Mm-hmm.
or it was a matter of like, okay, he doesn't know what happened. Like he does
Yeah.
everyone he clearly was saying the kiss and that wasn't it. So it was
Yes.
kind of like, okay, technically is it inconsequential since he was wrong?
Wrong. Yeah.
It's just like, okay, and she already had sus on her, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah. I have thought way too long about this. I have gone back and forth, and I think I ended with he shouldn't have been able to say it. If the whole
mhm.
thing is a murder, I know it's different. It's the same thing as Rob C didn't get a chance, like, to say
Mhm.
something, and that was done technically in plain sight with a card. But
Right.
even if he was there, once you're murdered, you are dead, meaning you can't say anything. And then even when you're banished on the table where you're in front of them, you still can't say anything that kind of gives clues. So I
Yeah.
don't know why this should be the exception unless it was just for chaos. But like you said, he got it wrong anyways. He wouldn't know what the rules, and if it was specifically the rules that he shouldn't say anything, they would have told them and him, like
Yeah.
whoever it is, you can't say anything that gives away a clue or who you think
Mhm.
it is. So I know they were okay with it, but I think that it's a little unfair to Renna because she was actually a
Right, but imagine this. Imagine Candace had the
amulet.
yeah,
Mhm.
amulet, and, you know, that's how it happened. he still has the same interaction with Lisa. They
Yeah.
already have suspicion on Lisa, and
Yeah.
then he gets murdered and says, "It's Lisa, it's Lisa." Then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, then yeah, then technically, yeah, it is
Yes.
Lisa,
Yeah.
but that's not how you got murdered in the situation. So I don't know. I it obviously did add to the dramatics because they just
Yes.
pulled him out so dramatically, like he just had to go with that second. That was like peak, like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
intensity of the Traitors.
Yes.
But yeah, I get the argument that, he shouldn't have been allowed to say it. But I don't think it mattered in this scenario because he would have said that regardless of how he actually got murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, for entertainment value though, great.
Yeah.
Absolutely 10 over 10.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
so good. I really because I was just like, "Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?" And it
Mhm.
was of all the people, it was
Yeah.
Jam Jam. So, R.I.P. Jam Jam.
Right.
Rena's reaction was weak to it. I think that didn't help. Again, I don't know
Yeah.
what is editing, but that is usually how she reacts when she is being messy on Housewives and she's being caught. She's like,
Mm.
"What? Who?" And then she cocks her head to the side and parts
Yeah.
her lips. So,
Yeah.
she's like, "I don't get that." And honestly, I didn't think that she actually kissed him. I thought she air kissed him. It wasn't until I watched it back that I saw that she actually did kiss him.
On his cheek?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yes.
I watched it back too. Was it on the side that you can't see?
There were clips on Peacock posted it, and I was like, "Wait,
Okay.
it's actually on the thing." And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they didn't air it, and now they're
Mhm.
just showing it because he was the one murdered." But you can't trust memory because I was so
Right.
sure that it was an air kiss, and I was like, "But then everybody else air kissed."
Mhm.
They weren't the only ones that did it, but I think they were
Right.
just fixated on Lisa, like you said. So
Yeah.
that was gonna happen anyways.
Mhm.
So Lisa's in the confessional and is like, "Oh God, these people, it's not the kiss. And also, Rob did nothing. I did all the work like women do. And she doesn't." Oh, that was later. And she's like, she doesn't know if she's going to recover from this. And I also didn't know if she was going to recover from this because she's just already been giving suspicious vibes
She
to
has.
everyone that you have to pull that thread and see if it's true or not.
And that's the toughest part about the traders, especially for people that are faithful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Once people see you as a trader and
Mm-hmm.
you can't prove otherwise, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So it's kind of like someone else has to be more suspicious. And if you
Yes.
don't have other evidence, which in the way that it's done, it's very hard to have other evidence since I think the main thing is the traders do not have any incentive to do anything beyond what faithfuls are doing
Yeah.
in the challenges. I
Yes.
think that's the perfect avenue to have the traders have a different agenda so that there's more evidence besides someone misspeaking.
Yes.
There's more evidence to think, oh, this person is a traitor because they were actually trying to sabotage the mission.
Yes.
But the fact that, they're already in their mind thinking Lisa's probably a traitor, everything she's going to do is going to make them think that's traitorous behavior. And it's
Yes.
so hard to move that goalpost as soon as people have that in their mind. It's just like the
Absolutely.
Tiffany one. Like
Yeah.
as soon as people thought Tiffany was a traitor, you couldn't convince them otherwise because there was no other bigger name.
Yes, absolutely. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. It's like Natalie. Doesn't matter what she did. They're like, oh, the way she was screaming, she's like a traitor. And that's what it
Yep.
is. And at that point, I don't blame them. Again, they have to figure out, are you one or are you not? And we'll take the L if you're not. So
Hmm.
the next morning at breakfast, again with the producers, great work. They have the traders walk in first. And they gave them time so they could have like a full conversation because
Yeah.
they have not had the talk for when Rob voted for Lisa. They had a
Mm.
quick one, but they've not fully like talked it out and they had to quickly go into trader mode and do their next crime.
Yep.
So this was their opportunity to talk. So good on the producers for, thinking that through and having that happen. So
But
Lisa,
I don't
oh,
even I hadn't noticed this because it's
ooh,
like if you're not in the game, you're not thinking about this.
yeah,
But Rachel Riley pointed out
yeah.
on Tiffany's podcast
Hmm.
that every season that a big event happens that the traders murder someone at and they don't go to the turret after, they are the first ones at breakfast. And so she's like, she doesn't
Oh,
understand how people don't think of that. But she's like, when you're in the game, you're not
no.
thinking like, oh,
Yeah.
this is the pattern. Maybe Rob would have thought of it, Rob C.
Yeah.
Like, Rob C probably 100% would have been like, the Traitors probably didn't go to turret last night, so the first 3 here. But I did notice that Rob R set over 1 seat from
Over.
Candace,
Yeah.
so that when I think it was Dorinda came in, that, they weren't the first 3, so everyone after would know that they were the first 3 at breakfast. But apparently they do that every time.
That is such a good call out because I didn't even notice that. The only thing I was thinking was I didn't notice that they all sat in the same place every time because all I noticed was
During
Lisa.
the round table?
No, 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 during
Oh.
breakfast. Lisa's
Oh.
always at that corner, and I was like, "Oh, does she sit in the same place all the time?" And someone was like, "They all sit in the same place." And I'm like, "I don't know if that's true."
No, I thought they came in the order that they just came in, like, they file in. Sometimes people will leave an empty seat, but
Yeah. But Lisa always sat at that corner. I don't think Candace ever sat
mm,
beside her because that's why I'm maybe the smaller they got, but Lisa was always at that corner because she came
mhm.
late one time and she walked all the way and I'm like, "You left her a seat there? Why is she's never been on the other side if you think about it, close to the door."
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
was she there for the No, she wasn't because when she's telling the story about when they came to kill face to face, she was also at
Mhm.
that corner and she came
Yeah,
later. So that's something else they probably have to think about for next time because someone's gonna clock that
right. Exactly.
and think about that. Okay. So Lisa's asking what is the plan, and Rob is like, same thing I do all the time. Sit back and do nothing. And she's like, you need to do more.
Actually, you need to pivot.
And Candace is like, do y'all need to talk? I'm like, obviously. So he explains again that it would be off if he had voted for Colton because he's close to Colton. And Candace is like, this is a game of relationship. And Renna says, like, they've done well together. The relationship takes priority over everything else. And where do you stand on this? Because at that point last week, I thought he was making the right call because I thought she was leaving.
Right.
But did
Uh,
he pull the trigger early?
I feel like he pulled the trigger a tad too early.
Yeah.
I think he overestimated their I feel like you only make this move at this point if you think that other traders are capable of doing it to you.
Mhm.
And I think he overestimated their view of their group. I think they Candace and Lisa probably would have been totally fine making it to the end with Rob, and they would have been like, "Yay, the
Mhm.
traders did it."
Mhm.
But the fact that he made this move while not even cluing in, like it wasn't like I guess maybe that was last season where they were kind of in on like Carolyn wanted to turn
One.
on Rob and made
Yeah.
sure the other trader was like in on that same page. The fact that he did this completely without Candace being in the loop, that makes it difficult because
Mhm.
now you done messed up the whole turret. Like you
Yeah.
turned on one, the other one's mad at you. How do y'all move forward? Like
Yeah.
you've only put yourself at risk. And so it in the like it's like I can see his perspective in this moment thinking like I need to like they know they're faithful. I need
Yeah.
to stick on their side because otherwise it's going to look suspicious.
Yeah.
But I think there's one like you don't have to defend Lisa at every turn, but you
Mhm.
also don't have to be one person voting for her.
Yeah. Yes, I at first I thought it was the right call because again, I thought everybody was on her. She was a sinking
Mhm.
ship. But then I think his mistake was going hard. It's one thing if you're going with the flow, but when you're now presenting and then you're adding
Evidence.
to it and
Yes.
evidence, you didn't need to do that. And yes, I don't think that traders, I think that's what I'm seeing a lot of online, that all the traders need to be friends and go vote together and all that. That's great, but it was still too early. I think if they get Lisa, I know at some point the Faithfuls need traitor blood on their hands. They need
Yeah.
to find someone.
You need to
Yes.
have a sacrifice. And I think he just thought, "Oh, it needs to happen now because there's already suspicion on her." But that can only happen if Candace is also in on it. Because I've
Yes.
seen that too. People are like, anytime it's traitor on traitor crime, it's not good for the traitors.
Yeah.
ask Suri, okay? Like, she was able to manage it,
Yeah.
and still have trade on trade crime, but realizing, like, who they needed to drop when. I
Mhm.
think it was just like, you can't have trade on trade crime and do it, like, solo dolo.
Yes. And that's the thing. We don't know Rob's true intention. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, they could have made it to the end. They could have made it to the end." But yes, Rob is charming. Rob is the snake charmer. But we
Mhm.
watch Rob on Love Island. I think his self-interest is always going to be there, and he's still a man, so he's going to look out
Mhm.
for himself and his fellow bro. And I just think like he could have taken the risk. He's willing to take that risk to vote for Lisa, but didn't want to take that risk to vote for Colton, right?
Yeah.
But if he voted for Colton, he's saying that it would look off. Again, I was like, oh, yeah, that would look off. But also, he could always talk himself out of it and be like, he's so close to me because he's my friend, but I have to take emotions out of it. And if everyone is suspecting, we just have to, I have to look to the people close to whatever thing they say all the time and still preserve that relationship
Yeah.
with
I think
that.
he could have easily talked himself out of it with Colton, like, "Hey, I felt like the vote was on you, and if I hadn't voted you, people are gonna be looking at me for some reason."
Yeah. So I don't know. I just I think that's where he went wrong. I mean, we don't know how this is going to play out by the end of this episode. It is Rob versus Candace. I'm going ahead, but I keep trying to go backwards to see what would have happened if he had just stayed faithful to them
Yeah.
versus pulling the trigger at that point. And just he should have just let her die a natural death. It was coming
Yes,
anyways.
yes. Instead
That's
of,
what I'm trying to say.
"Hey."
Yes, pushing
Yeah.
for it and
Yeah,
doing all that. So,
exactly.
Lisa's like, I need help. I did all the work. And I'm curious who Candace is focused on now that Ron is out. I get my answer later, but at that point, I'm like, okay, she's all been like, I've picked one person. That's who I'm voting for. But now Ron is out. Who's the next person that she's going to focus on? So Rob said that he didn't enjoy that. Like two women just yelling at him. And they're
Mhm.
saying they need to protect Lisa. But Jam Jam signed her banishment certificate as he walked out. And he'll be bad if he sticks up for someone and they walk out and they're a traitor. So it's hilarious though that Candace remembered that he needed to put food on his plate, and she's like, "Put some food on your plate," because the people walked in and it was empty.
I didn't even catch that. Oh,
So,
yes.
and then he sticks another boiled egg in his mouth. So, so that went down. So,
Mhm.
they start walking in, and they begin with Natalie and how intense she was. That why was she like this? And I'm like, guys, she's always intense.
Yeah.
Again to your point. Once they've decided someone's like a traitor, they're gonna pick everything. But this is
Yeah,
the Natalie you've known from day one.
exactly.
Candace goes on with, we all air kiss, try to divert attention from Lisa. And then Maura in her stiff wig of the week saunters in. I don't know why she's wearing a wig
Yeah.
and she's not putting her hair in a wig cap. So it's just poofy and up there. But she does have a hat. So that's that. And then Steven comes in and thinks that he has a target on him for the first time. And I'm like, you do? I didn't think he had a target.
I
So
think it's
maybe.
the turkey drama. Like, he felt like everybody ganged up on him a little bit at the beginning, think because he served them turkey, and now he's like, "Whoa, I never
Um,
heard my name in discussion."
Well, much like his season, I think they said it and forgot about it. Like
Yeah,
I just
they did.
I'm just
Yeah,
like, and I think Mark Ballas kind of squelched that and was like, we all ate the turkey, it wasn't anything. So if it was, like, it can't be a thing. So I don't know, but who knows?
yeah.
I try to remember that us as viewers is different from what they're experiencing. We are watching an edited show, so
Mhm.
there are many things that maybe we're missing on that. So Colton says that he's been the one presenting evidence and he's talking a lot, and that's not a good strategy. So he's not going to do that. He's going to sit back and just watch. And I'm like, Colton, even if you tried, you cannot help yourself. So
He's incapable.
good luck
Yeah.
with that. Tara, Natalie, and Kristen walk in. And for those of you who are wondering about Natalie's fashion, I believe I heard this on the podcast that she dressed this way on purpose because she wanted people to see her muscles. Did you hear that also?
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually heard that on her Instagram story. Was She was
Okay.
like, "I have muscles
Yes.
and I want to show them. It's very intentional because I wanna present that I'm this strong force so
Mhm.
that people think, oh, we need to keep her around for the missions.
Yes. Okay. So yes, that's the explanation for that. Tara immediately apologizes to Dorinda and is like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I just really thought that it was the turkey." Natalie also apologizes that she was freaking out, and Lisa starts getting on her because they have decided that she's the next target. Um. So then that's how we learned that the next person Candace is going to target is Natalie. How do we feel about that?
It makes sense because people are already looking that direction, and because
Mm-hmm.
you if you bring up a random name, she's like, "Let's go Johnny." Then you have to start coming up with random stuff to support
Mm-hmm.
it, but the fact that people already have a bad taste in their mouth from the whole potion thing,
Mm-hmm.
it makes it easier to kinda, like, just be like make it look like you're just jumping on that train.
Yeah. 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 Mark and Johnny are having a side conversation also. They're whispering about Natalie, that she's the last gamer, and everyone. I think what's throwing everyone off is they can't believe that no gamer is a traitor.
Yeah, exactly.
So, damn, they
Yeah,
really
because
painted this
because
season.
it's Michael's logic. He's like, "There's
Yes.
5 gamers, there's 5 housewives, it's gotta be blah, blah, blah." And so, technically, you would think that would be the thing, right? Like, you'd pick
Yeah.
1 from each type of group, but
Yes.
the fact that, all their gamers are out, it it's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, Natalie got rid of all the gamers so that
Yes.
we wouldn't think it's her." And so
Yeah.
kinda like a reverse psychology thing.
Yeah. And I like it. I've said it that I like it. They got to keep switching things up as the seasons come. So it's not like a formula and
Yeah.
everyone, figures that out.
Mhm.
So they said all the gamers are gone. And Johnny now thinks that the three people that are traitors are Natalie, Lisa, and Colton. So loud, so wrong. Well, so quiet,
Yeah.
so wrong.
Mhm.
They're all talking at this point, just chit chatting. And Natalie digs herself a grave and pulls a Porsche in front of Tara and Lisa. She's like, "All the gamers are gone. We killed one. Sorry, I mean, we murdered one. I mean, we banished one." And I'm
Right.
like, "Yep, that's it."
I was like, at the moment she said this, I was like, "Okay, all she has to do is say, 'Hey, Portia did the same thing, and look
Mhm,
what happened. She was a
mhm.
faithful.'" So I was really surprised she didn't try to use that argument.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Tara boldly declares she's in the game, guys, that she does not think that Lisa is a traitor. She says that in the
Mhm.
car. I'm like, so sweet.
Yeah.
And Lisa shares the Natalie story with Mark and Dorinda. And it is so interesting to me that immediately she shared that story with them, but she still never shared that bizarre conversation with Colton. I don't,
Right.
she has
Yeah.
that in her pocket and never used it.
Mhm.
Because if Colton comes out and says, "Hey, I had a conversation with Lisa," everyone's just going to be like, "Why did she never bring that up?"
Well, do you think that she may think that that just kind of, like, proves that he's a faithful? Because he was so bold to try to say that and, like, accuse her of being in the turret? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know, she's like I mean, I don't know if Lisa's, like, thinking that
that
train of
far ahead.
thought, but
Yeah.
it's like, "Okay, I have this information. Now, if I were to say it to someone, what are they thinking? Are they just like, does this prove to them that Colton is a faithful?"
Yeah, that's a good question. If this was the UK season, they'll be like, "Is this traitor and traitor?" And they're both coming up with stories and we don't know. But
Mm,
this group is just they know who
yeah.
the faithfuls are. So who knows what? It changes by the minute. That's the thing. One person comes out, they're like, "Is this person?" They go to the table and it's like, "No, it's another person." So
Yeah.
who knows? So their next challenge comes with the chance to win 2 votes at the next round table that can be used once at one of the next 4 round tables. I'm like, okay, Survivor, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, 4 is too much. I felt like it shoulda just been this one. Like,
Yes.
the next upcoming roundtable, like, why are you giving someone the opportunity to kinda like, "Oh, I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. Oh, I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it."
Like anyways, and then and yeah, especially when which is what happened. The person that could win it is a trader who already kind of has an advantage, and then now you give them even more of that advantage in this scenario. But
Yep.
yeah, so what they have to do is they have to. It's like hiking. They're hiking up there, and then they pick up gold, and they can use their gold to smash and earn, and you earn more gold. Whoever has the highest gets to do what I call a game of bluff.
Yeah.
And then you win a dagger. And then with that dagger, you get 2 votes. Now, we saw this in the UK version, but the difference is the traitors are who gave someone the dagger, which is much more fun
Mm.
because it was
Mhm.
chaotic and everyone's like, did the traitor give it to themselves? Did the person who get it, are they a traitor? And it's just
Yeah.
because this is a little unfair because much like Big Brother or the challenge when they do, mixed teams that are like same sex or mixed sex, it's like there's an advantage. And we see that in the people who were the final 6. And it's like, I
Yep.
don't like this. Like, come on, like
Yeah,
let's make
because
it more
I
equal.
was so confused too of like, okay, I mean, I guess I wasn't that confused, but it was just like, okay, the top 6 people to have the most gold, and then it was just like, okay, just incentivize everybody else who had only had a little
A
bit of
little bit.
gold to
Mm-hmm.
pick somebody because it's like, oh, only 6. So it's not even just a
Mm-hmm.
battle of like they're not gonna put that in their chest. They're just
Mm-hmm.
going to so I guess that may have been the reason to just kind of see who was gonna give who what.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, we ended up with 5 guys and Natalie.
And Natalie.
So
So yeah. As usual, it's light work for Rob because honestly, there's nothing he can't do. And then he tells Colton that he wants the dagger so bad because he doesn't want some dumbass that won't vote Lisa out. And I'm like, oh,
mhm.
we are actively trying to get her out. So at some point where they're going up the hill or the mountain and he says, "Oh, I'm struggling." And then Colton's like, "Oh, I'll grab the bag." And he gives it to Colton. I thought that that was on purpose at that point, that
Uh-huh.
he didn't want to get the dagger. He wanted Colton to have it because he knows Colton will use 2 votes
In his
on
advantage.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yes, and to his advantage. And I was so wrong because no, he put the gold in his own chest. And I'm like, oh, I'm just thinking too much.
He's like,
So
"Oh, no, it was just heavy."
because I'm like, he was fine. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm gassing out. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was wrong. So Colton tells him to get Mora on board. And he's like, oh, I have Mora. I'm like, okay. Lisa gives hers to Steven. And then Colton clocks that and is like, why did she give it to Steven? I'm like, because she's not going to win. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like we said, the 6 people who move on to play for the dagger are Colton, Rob, Steven, Mark, Eric, and Natalie. Of course, all men and Natalie.
Mhm.
And they basically play that game of bluff. And listen, I swear that I put in my notes already that Natalie is obviously lying. And she has the dagger. She like couldn't look at him. She was licking her lips, and I was like, it was so
I
obvious.
I had my expectations way too high. I was like, "Oh, she's obviously coming off like a bad liar so that he picks her and that he doesn't end up with the dagger." No, she was just bad at lying. I was so shocked. It's like, "Wait, what?" Like it was I'm like I get his line of questioning, like he wants to
Hmm.
see how the person reacts. She was very obviously hesitated
Yeah.
when she answered if she had
Hmm.
it or not. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, it's on
No,
purpose. Natalie knows what she's doing."
nope.
No.
Cannot look Rob straight into the eye, just like the
Yeah.
sun. So that's what it was. But she says she's happy that it's Rob, that he's one of the people that's closest to her. I don't think I knew that.
The TikTok fan edits made me think that they were close because
Okay.
people have been trying to ship them because they're in a lot of scenes next to each other. And so people have been like, "Oh, look at Natalie and Rob, look at Natalie and Rob." And they've been doing that for a few episodes now. And so I was like,
Oh,
"Okay,
okay.
maybe something's there or maybe people are just making up out of thin air." And then she says that and I was like, "Okay, maybe I'm not surprised then."
Okay.
They have
Interesting.
this like fun flirty thing going
Hmm.
on.
Her castle daddy.
Yeah.
So, so once again, Candace shares her tea with Lisa and tells her that she's on people's lips and they're talking about her and Johnny's onto her. And I'll say it again. I know I've said it the last few episodes. I do think that is a flaw of Candace. She is so loyal to Lisa.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to actively go for her like Rob, but she also doesn't have to tell her all the stuff. Keep it in your back pocket for later.
Yeah. I felt like the biggest mess up for Candace was when she told Lisa that
Monet.
Monet
Mm-hmm.
was thinking of because I was like, Monet is so like it
Yes.
felt like Monet could have been
Your person.
Candace's like trusted faithful.
Yes. And if they get Lisa, that is a housewife. They're not
Mhm.
going to immediately think that, oh, there's another housewife in there because it's the first
Yeah.
time that they're doing this. And then
Mhm.
now at this point, all the traitors have been women, right?
Oh, that they found.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes,
So they're
yes.
automatically be like, oh, maybe the next. Maybe I'm giving this cast too much credit, but for me,
Yeah.
I would have been like,
You're
okay,
thinking
so
like
maybe
a
it's a
gamer. The
man.
gamers are gone.
So like maybe it's a man, and then you get some space. So I'm just like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna help you, or whatever. And I know everyone keeps saying like maybe Rob should have gone to Candace, but I don't think that's viable also. Candace is like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you can do that." I'm jumping ahead. I should probably wait, but you can do that to her, then you can
Yeah,
do that to me. So I don't even think
exactly.
that was a viable plan for them. But she shares that with her, and then Lisa brings up again the story about Natalie, and like you said, so did Portia. But when they did the dagger thing, Rob makes a pact with the winners and says, "We're not going to tell anyone who won that." Again, so bold to do
Yes.
that because anyone
Mhm.
could do that. But my question is, how do you keep that from Candace and Lisa? They know you're in that group. So if you're
Right.
together and you're like, wait, who you were there? Who won it? What was your answer going to be?
Exactly. I think he was just gonna plan on lying, and then because he already has it. I feel like he already has it in his mind right now, and Lisa's out. Like, if we can get the troops, Lisa is out. And so then he's at that point, okay, I only have Candace left to be the last traitor standing,
Yeah.
unless because especially because he's not waiting long enough for them not to recruit someone.
Yeah.
So if he were to wait a little bit longer, he could think, "Oh, there's not enough time left to recruit someone else, so it could be just me." But yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, okay, well, what happens when they ask you? I think he just planned
Yeah.
on lying.
It's not feasible. I hate when traders recruit. I just want it to be whoever it is
Yeah,
to just last as long as they can because then the dynamic just changes so
it
much
does.
and
Yeah,
you can see it and it's just yeah, weird.
yeah.
So one group, they're all talking and they're all like, "Oh, it's going to be Natalie." All the people with Rob are like, "Oh, it's going to be Lisa." And then Rob is like, "Well, if she's not voted out, I'm going to have to be chewed out by two scary housewives." So I'm like, "Yes." And
Mhm.
they get to the round table and
Well,
oh,
the pitch from Rob, was that here or was that before the mission? Where Rob was like, "Think about it. If two people are recounting a version of events
yeah.
and one of them is saying it didn't happen, that most likely is the person." Or he basically was trying to say Lisa's lying
Yeah, for the
for
oh,
the
for
Black Banquet.
the back. Oh, okay. Though when they got to the round table cuz
No,
I'm still
when they were sitting in the room.
Oh,
This
okay,
was
okay.
before
And they
the
were
round
talking.
table. Yeah.
Yes,
I wasn't
yes.
sure if I couldn't remember if it was, right after the Black Banquet or if it was,
After the
right before the round
challenge.
table,
Yeah.
but for him to kinda take the lead there and be like, "Hey,
Yes.
guys, this is at further evidence
Yes.
for why I think Lisa is a traitor," that wasn't good
Yes.
because it's him leading the charge, trying to get more votes. He's trying to be convincing,
Yes.
and it's just like, you gotta have there is a way to get
To do
out a
mhm.
fellow traitor without being the one leading the charge.
Yes, and that's the thing, she's already on the platter, but
Yeah.
I will say he did move the needle because there was a high chance it would have been Natalie. So he needed to move the needle, but I don't know
Mhm.
why he just didn't feed it to Colton. This is what Colton wants to do, and apparently they listen to Colton. People forget, like, we're watching Colton from outside with a different view, but inside the house, I
Mhm.
don't think he's lying when they say they're listening to him. He throws out
Yeah.
a name and they're all like, okay, sure,
Yep.
we'll do it. So, which is why I'm
Exactly.
always like, I don't know why he just didn't have him have the dagger. I know he's thinking, I'll use it for myself. But again, the hubris of thinking I'm going to last that long and use it for myself. But
Mhm.
yeah. So he needed to move that needle. I think he just needed to make sure he can't take a shot at Lisa twice and miss.
And miss, yes.
That's
That
too
because
easy.
then you're really done for.
Yes, but also he can help himself. Like you can't just sit back, which has been your MO the whole time. Just sit back and
Yep.
just, let it happen. So they
Mhm.
get to the round table and Natalie is fighting back and then she's saying that Lisa doesn't really care if she's a traitor. She's not finding a traitor. She just doesn't want to go home. Johnny brings up Natalie fighting for the antidote and
Did
I'm
you
like,
did you think that was a fair argument? Like, I liked I liked it because I didn't expect it. I thought she was gonna try to defend herself, which is what
Yeah.
people always try to do. Like, they immediately go to, "Let me defend myself so you don't think I'm a traitor."
Yeah.
She said, I'm actually gonna shift this on you and focus
Mhm.
on how you are deflecting because the heat's already on you. We
Yes.
already have this evidence of thinking it's you." And I
Yes.
think that really helped Natalie kind of put Lisa on defense
Back.
because Lisa tried to start it out, be like, "Natalie, you need to be on defense." And she's like, no, we're about to put this right back on you. You explain." And she has seen from the last roundtable that Lisa doesn't have a good way to back it up besides, "I'm faithful, y'all. I'm faithful. I'm
Yeah.
faithful."
I did like it. I kind of, and this may be my fault. I just kind of thought it was wasted on them. I usually feel like when they come to the round table, they already know who they want to
Hmm.
vote, and this might be the first time that people, I'm trying to think, actually change their minds. No, it's not because the the faithful 8 were gonna vote Colton and they
Oh
all went
yeah.
rogue
Exactly.
and voted for whoever. But I think
Yeah.
this is where Natalie's personality helped her, and I'm still
Yes.
amazed that she gets away with it here with
Hmm.
this because any other person would have just been like, "Oh, you already think what you want to think. It's fine." And she's just like, "No,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna
there's
put this
nothing I
back."
can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really helped talk that vote off of her.
Yes. So Johnny brings up the Natalie fighting for the antidote. And like I said, in my mind, I'm just like, if I'm sitting there, would I think this makes sense? Because for me outside, it doesn't make sense. I'm fighting for the antidote because everybody should be fighting for the antidote.
Yeah.
Nobody should feel
Why are y'all
safe.
safe? Why do y'all feel safe? Literally, they could have looked at you, and that
Yes.
was the murder.
Yes. And again, I was raised on Survivor. If you're comfortable, blindside is coming your way.
Yeah.
And that's where her anxiety is coming from.
Yep.
Colton brings
And sometimes you're uncomfortable and you still get voted out. So
apologies. Colton brings up Jam Jam, and why? What do you think Jam Jam was going for Lisa so hard, and then Candace backs her up, like, no, we were all kissing. Like, I don't know why he did that. And then Moral's like, I'm sure that Lisa kissed Jam Jam, and Dorinda's like, no, no, she
it's
didn't.
like,
And
now you making yourself. Why are you putting eyes on yourself, Dorinda? Literally, you had no reason to defend her in that moment.
Dorinda's like, they brought me back. I have to do something. I'm like, this what you guys wanted? You wanted her back? Here you go.
Right. So I still
Enjoy.
don't get it. I don't know. I still am not like I do you get why they brought her back?
Oh no, I've been saying I was so mad when they were bringing her back. I was like, if we're doing that, let's do it for everybody because I
Yeah,
don't get it.
everybody gets a second chance.
Yep. So, and Dorinda does what Dolores did last. She's like on Tom Sandoval last year, regardless of what it was. And Dorinda is like, well, I'm switching to Mara. She can't even spell her name. Don't they have? Well, Jam Jam said on his live that they have papers or pictures with everyone's faces and their names on there, so everyone should know how to spell people's name. So for you not to be able to spell is either you're lazy or you don't care.
It was such a last minute you don't care. It was such that's what it is because it was such a last minute switch up that she's just like never even had Mora on her mind to be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I need to bother to learn how to spell her name."
Mm-hmm.
It was just like the most atrocious spelling
Spelling.
one could come up with.
She wouldn't let her speak. There's a lot of emotion in this. You cannot play this game with emotion, guys. Rob actually speaks. And I think I gasped. I was like, what are you
Yeah, I think my
doing?
jaw was on the ground.
And he says you have to take emotion out the equation, and he backs Natalie. And I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, this is a bold ass move, but
Yep.
the only flaw is like this is war against Candace. Candace is
Mhm.
not gonna trust him no matter what. Like this is just I think he was ready to take the risk, and that's I might as well bring it up here. Again, everyone's like, oh, he can talk to Candace, he can do that. I think that he also still plans to take Candace out. And she's right
Mhm.
not to trust him.
Yeah. No, this is immediate, like, there is 0 reason for her to trust him at this point. Like,
Mhm.
that put the nail in the coffin.
Mhm.
Um, and so it was just kind of especially not even to just be like, "Hey, just so you know, like, heat's already on Lisa. Like, I
Yeah.
can't there's nothing I can do." Even if it's like a, "You do what you wanna do. You don't
Mhm.
have to vote her out, but I for what I have going on, like, that at the very least needed to happen. And the fact that
Yes.
that didn't, Candace
Yes.
should be done with him.
Yep. Absolutely. Although, on the flip side though, I don't think Lisa would be loyal to Candace. And Lisa would get in a confessional and she'd be like,
Yes, she would have
they were
been.
already
Yep.
talking about Candace. What do you want me
Exactly.
to do?
Yep.
um, so then they start voting. And everyone starts voting. There's Natalie, there's Lisa, and then it comes to Candace. And Candace is like, oh, Natalie, I believe you. I was coming here waiting to vote for you, but I don't think it's you. So I'm just going to do a throwaway vote and I'm just going to vote for Rob. My first reaction was, ooh, that's good.
Wait, what's your second reaction?
This is after I thought about it 100 times afterwards. And I was like, oh my God, was that smart? Was that smart? Because if he gets caught. But I said that's good because I think she's just ready to risk it all at this point.
Mhm.
Even if I go down, they will remember. And I say I'm a traitor. Why the heck would I vote him?
Yep.
The flip side is I like how she sold it just enough to be like, we all know he's a faithful. I just can't pick
Mm.
who I'm voting for. I'm just going to vote for Rob because I don't know what to do. And it's a throwaway vote. It was like two things, interpret it how you want to. And I'm curious to see how they will next week. But that's why I thought it was so good that it's just, she could play it either way.
I thought it was brilliant
Yes.
because it like basically is tying him to her. Like, "Oh, you wanna pull this mess on me?
Yes.
Watch."
Yes.
Like, literally, you are now attached to me because I could have voted Colton. I
Yes.
could have voted anybody else that has
Yes.
like names have been floated. Like
Yes.
she could have used the whole like Steven was hearing his name. Oh, okay, I'm gonna vote for Steven. She
Yep.
said, I'm gonna vote for you. So
Mhm.
therefore, you try to bring me up,
Mhm.
somebody's gonna question why I voted for you, especially even if it's not before she gets like if she gets voted out and announces she's a traitor, people are going to remember why
Yes.
did she vote for you, and so
Yes.
it immediately he is going to be forced to not directly turn on her, I guess,
Mhm.
because it's going to take him down with her.
Yes, this was basically as is going down.
Yeah.
Like
I loved it. I was like, the
yes.
way his like the color left his face, his throat was in his stomach. He couldn't believe it. He thought
Yes.
he was above
Yep.
getting voted for, and
Mhm.
like he's been riding high for too long. Like I
Yes.
thought he was doing a great job as a
Yeah.
traitor, but
Mhm.
this pivot and leading the charge to get out Lisa, I think
Mhm.
is going to be his downfall because now he is in a turret with someone who doesn't trust him. She
Mhm.
has no reason to be like, I voted Rob because X, Y, and Z. Like she
Yeah.
could start leading the charge. Then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, then his word versus yours, and he may have more people behind him at this point, but
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that that's going to change. Like
Yeah.
she could say just enough
Yes.
to win enough favor with people to turn the vote onto him versus her. So I'm just like, I thought it was brilliant. I love that she did that, and
Mhm.
I think it really like made us really excited for the next episode
Yes.
because now we're just like, okay, we don't know what's about to happen in this
Yeah.
turret. We know that he did not expect that whatsoever. Now he sees how everybody feels when they get voted for
Yes.
because as far as we're all concerned, his name has been written down. Candace's name has not.
Not. Yep.
So
She ruined that flow
yeah,
on there. And now his name is in the mix, regardless
yeah.
of what happens. So, like I said, I don't know. Again, yeah, he did. He definitely pulled the trigger too early because even if they made it, it's kind of like riding, like having your meat shield around. We all
Hmm.
knew Lisa was going to be the first person that was going to get caught, but
Yeah,
let
yeah.
it be. And then when the smaller you are, the more it makes sense. Where you're just like, hey, I have to go with the people. I can't still defend her when we're just like six or five of us left or however long.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so it's great. And then even Johnny votes for Lisa, and
Hmm.
I'm ready for Dorinda to be gone. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, same.
And eventually, Lisa is voted out and she gives her speech. And I want to say that Lisa looks really good. I just really liked what she was wearing when she was leaving. And she cries in the confessional saying, "Damn you, Rob." And that the end of Housewives was very difficult for her. And I almost felt sorry for her. But I remembered her last season. She was not very nice to some people and she was
Mm.
not loyal. I know I have a listener who asked me to like give the background of Lisa, and I don't know where to start from, but I would say this example where she brought Garcelle into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and that was
Mhm.
her friend. But Lisa is notoriously known for bringing her friends, turning against them, and treating them like trash. I remember
Mm.
Denise, where they were just accusing Denise of having an affair on her husband with a woman, and just to me, just trying to like out her to talk about it, and she didn't want to. Like you were like, own it, speak about the truth, and throwing Garcelle's book in the trash at the reunion, saying I was the one who did it, almost with pride, and Garcelle in tears,
Mm.
and it just wasn't nice, like the whole
Yeah.
thing. So I know she's saying like it was difficult for her because I think I was telling Jason last time at BravoCon, she came out, we were booing, she gave us the finger.
Oh.
So it's so maybe it was difficult for her, but she kind of played a part into it. And I know people like her, which is fine. I,
Yeah.
almost fell for it. And I'm glad she had a good time. And people got to see she's always on. She's an entertainer. There's just I
Yeah.
think there's a line when you entertain. But
Yeah.
good for her.
I think the reunion is going to be very interesting.
I hope so, because this is what I thought last season for Carolyn
I
and
know, and
Danielle,
then
and
it
everyone was
wasn't.
just like, "No, it's fine,"
Yeah.
and then it was just that. So, so we'll see.
I think they owe us a good reunion.
I do think part of the problem is that Andy hosts it. I think Andy is a good host. I just don't think it's a good fit.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I do think a gamer has to host this. Even
Yeah.
if you give me a parvati or something, I don't know. But I think someone that's a gamer that can navigate the competition and the social and all of that. I think Andy's versed in housewifery, and this
Yeah,
is like
and
where
that's it.
where he
Yeah.
catches up. But someone who's like invested, I think,
What
would
about Bob and Rob? They have their podcast.
they do.
I
I'm
mean,
iffy.
I'm just thinking of like an I like I'm not saying that they would kill it
Yeah,
by
yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
means.
Okay, okay, then yes.
Yeah. I just
Since
feel like
since they're already
yeah,
doing that, just
right.
continue.
Like, it's
Um,
not like I'm listening to the podcast or anything. I just
yeah,
think it's like, okay, former players, like, they may have like different types of questions because
yes,
they've experienced it.
yes,
And maybe it just will open the door to give more people time to talk and
yeah,
stuff. Because, yeah, I think Andy is used to like kind of navigating the conversation and being involved
yeah, moving it along.
when you need people to interact with each other at these types of
Mhm.
things.
My hesitation was because I was like, "Rob, it's gonna take forever to get a question out," and then it's just so that's why I was like, "1
Yeah.
hour of that."
Yeah.
But, where was I? Okay, so Colton has the smuggest look on his face that I just wanted to wipe it off, and he's like, "I think I just proved that housewives don't vote for housewives," and he wouldn't stop. I'm like, "It's not even true. Someone
Yeah.
said that one season, and we're just, like, sticking to it," and he's like,
Right.
"I just wanna say I came in scared of housewives, and I took one down," and I'm like, "When is this man
Like,
leaving?"
oh, single-handedly, Colton? Really?
When is this man leaving? Rob putting a lot of work for this, but it's like, he has to stay in the background. It's not like he can
Yeah.
brag about it. So,
It is
um,
funny how Colton tried to attach himself to a traitor and then ended up accidentally attaching himself to a traitor in Rob. It's like,
oh,
I just really hope if they do get an opportunity to recruit,
mhm.
I really hope it's not Colton. And I think if Candace is still around,
She won't let
she
that
won't
happen.
do it. But
Mm-mm.
what I'm afraid of is Rob turning on Candace and then getting an opportunity to recruit someone and recruiting Colton because people have sus on him. Then it's like, oh, people are going to try to go after Colton before me.
I do think it's inevitable that he turns on Candace, though. But the thing is, if he tries to recruit Colton, I have a feeling Colton has a need to feel like a hero. He will reject it.
Decline it, yeah.
Yeah, because in his mind, he's not thinking it's Rob.
Did Peter decline?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So I think that he will decline
Mhm.
and do that. And also, I don't know, people need to learn if you recruit your friend, it's not the greatest thing. I
Right.
don't think when you do that.
Mhm.
Um Colton has this weird conversation with Johnny going on and on about I'm going to compare football to like skating and you pull
Yes.
out everything. I'm like, what is wrong with you? And the funny part is Johnny leaves that conversation going, "Oh, Colton is a traitor."
Yeah, exactly. And that's the person you need,
Yeah.
like, that Johnny has established himself of having uh like influence with the
Mhm.
people that they are like sure, quote unquote,
Mhm.
of that are faithfuls.
Mhm.
So if Johnny is thinking it, you might get way more votes than you were thinking.
Yeah. He's the person you use if you want to spread things around because, again, Colton
Mhm.
can help himself and he immediately goes, "You know who's on my radar? Steven." I'm like, "What? Where?"
He's
Like,
like, "They just got one and he already on to the next."
and I'm just like, Colton, have dinner, have leftover turkey, and
And
have a
mm-mm.
night's rest, and then come the next day. Just relax. But he goes into the next room, and like that didn't just happen. He's like, "Did anyone notice how Candace was deflecting from Lisa?" I'm like, "Rest."
He won't. He will not rest until he is murdered or banished.
And Rob also is like, "Ooh, what if it's a turret of housewives?" I'm like, "You're still talking, sir?"
Yeah. And I was like, it's a that's a good way to deflect, but it's also a hypothetical that no one would think is true. Like,
Yes,
no, they're like, no way they're gonna put all housewives. Like, I think they would even be stunned to know there are 2.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh, which is going to be a mess next season because they're like, well, there were
yeah.
two. How do we know they're not three this
Right.
time? So Rob says he would have loved to win with her, lies, but he
Mhm.
doesn't know how they will move forward. Johnny shares with Candace that he thinks Natalie and Colton are traitors. And then he brings up Rob. And I can just hear Candace in her mind going, yes. And then she piles on with it. And I was like,
Yep.
yup, they're making
Yep,
you like
could.
so close.
Mhm.
They said the same thing because both of them said the same thing when they voted out an
Exactly.
icon, a
Icon,
legend.
yep.
I'm like, guys,
I don't know why Rob would copy the exact same thing Colton said, knowing that people are already sus of Colton. That was odd.
he thinks it's funny. And again, it's that hubris. The hubris got him
Yes.
this season, this episode on
Yep.
there. But I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a showdown because I
Yes.
don't know where this is going to go. Because, like you said, we're watching with different lenses, but one thing I know is that Candace's name has not been written, meaning that she's
Exactly.
not on anybody's radar. So
Exactly.
we'll see how this goes. But the thing is, Rob is going to kind of throw her name out, and then she's also kind of put Rob's name out. So we're just gonna
Mhm.
see where this is gonna lead to. So Candace gives us the best line. I had to quote it, and I'm gonna read it to you. She says, "The Christian woman in me is just clutching her pearls. I am aghast. But the bad bitch that is Candace is ready to play a motherfucking game. I have to take the snake down and cut him off at the head."
Woof.
Activated.
Yes.
So
I
they,
am I am so excited
yeah,
because I think I know Lisa had her mess ups, but I think
yes,
Rob's aggressiveness towards getting Lisa out shined a light
yeah,
on who the traitors were, or not all 3, but pointed eyes in their direction,
yeah,
right? Like, now Colton's looking at Candace,
yeah.
and literally last week, we're like, "The faithful, they don't know what they're doing. They have no
Mhm.
idea." So they went from being completely lost to like, "Oh, wow, I think the traitors have kind of helped us kinda
Yeah.
narrow it down." And I feel like that is in large part Rob's fault.
Yes.
So,
You gotta think long term because
mhm,
when, like I said, when you're smaller, you can't hide anywhere, and you
yeah,
gotta think of how it ends. You are voting. You have an opportunity at some point where all these things are gonna make sense at that
mhm,
point because all the people you're maybe thinking are maybes are eliminated and are not there anymore to confuse you. So when you want to end the game, you're like, wait, but Candace said this, but this person said that, and you're
yep,
leaving breadcrumbs for them to go back to when it's going to be time to make those big moves at that point. So I
mhm.
don't know, entertaining for us. So I am not complaining. They both meet at the turret, and Rob says, "Good evening."
Good evening.
And this cocks her head like, I know you didn't just.
Right? Oh my gosh. I was like, ugh, I can't wait to see that conversation. I can't wait to see just like, I mean, we see in the preview them saying, "All right, you do what you need to do and I'll do what I need to do."
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just like, is it gonna be a matter of who can build up the biggest army?
I would have said that they call a truce and say we're not gonna turn on each other, yada yada yada, while not believing each other, but actually
Mhm.
just until it gets to a point where you know you can't. That's what I will want for Candace. But Candace is firing on all cylinders of emotion
Yeah.
right now. That's not gonna fly. But I think we could be surprised. I
Yeah.
feel like Rob is a charmer. And he might just say something, and she's like, "You promise I'm gonna observe." He might be good for one round table,
Right.
and then we'll
Just
see.
be planting seeds behind the scenes because now
Yes.
they have this, Dagger 6.
Yes. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, what did you think of Steven just coming out and saying, "Yeah, we agreed. We made a pact that we weren't gonna say who." It's like, that's how you just know this man is not a gamer. Because what are you doing admitting that?
Even besides the admitting, if you I mean, I know I don't think that the spotlight was on him, but he did. That doesn't help your case. If,
Right.
if you think that your name is in the mix now and they ask you this, just whisper. Just say something that's gonna help you. No one knows who's a faithful or not. Like, what are the odds that
Mhm.
there's what, six of them, seven of them in that? One
Right.
person has to be a traitor. That's how my mind is going to be working. But
Yeah.
these people, like when Johnny got all his faithful eight and was like, "Oh, all eight of us
We're
was
all good.
probability, sir. One
Right.
traitor. Actually, they had two."
And Rob and Candace in that group. It's like, what is going on?
So, but I've been saying though that Steve Coletti is gonna have a late rush at the end because no
Mhm.
one even remembers he's there.
Yeah.
So
And he
it's
was in the People article, so I was like,
yeah,
how did he end up in the People article if we just don't know who he that he is there? But
could be nostalgia too.
yeah,
Just like he's the
true.
cute guy and all that.
Steven. That's what,
So yeah.
Lauren used to say. Or
So
Lo.
another that's true. Oh my god. Well,
I know, throwback.
that was a good episode. Do you have any last words, any thoughts?
No, I'm really glad that this episode, like, picked things up. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to kinda see where we're headed for the rest of the
Yeah.
season because it was starting to get like, "Oh, okay, the faithful are just done for." So I'm really glad that this episode shifted the direction of the season and can't wait to see what happens.
I think I'm interested to see who they're gonna recruit. And I'm also kind of hoping it's someone really quiet. Just
Mhm.
to see what that brings with that. Like, I feel like Tara is the Colton for Candace. So I
Mhm.
hope she doesn't recruit her. But I don't know. It might be fun with Kristen. Might be fun with Mark.
Mark, yes.
So he studied allegedly. So
Yeah, he had his notebook and stuff,
yeah.
and yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So, anyways, thank you so much for doing this with me. Can
Of
you
course.
share with people where they can find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on social media at Asia like Asia, Aysha like ASIA. I'm most active on Instagram. And right now I am podcasting every week with Jason Reed, who you hear over here sometimes. We are we have a Patreon. So patreon.com/slash a perfect match podcast, where we are talking all things Married at First Sight. So we are currently recapping season 10. We
Mhm.
had Tane on to talk about episode, what was that, 7
7?
or
Mhm.
yeah. So we were having a great time like reliving season 10, one of the very dramatic seasons of Married at First Sight. And yeah, Love is Blind is coming back. So I will be covering that over on Rob Has a Podcast. That's Rob C, everybody. So covering Love is Blind season 10 with Jason Reed and Mary Hukowski. So yeah, very excited about that.
Yeah. Ohio, yay.
Yay, Ohio. I couldn't wait for them to go to Ohio.
I think people forget that's where Nick is from, so maybe he lobbied for that to be there, but I'm
Mm,
like, "For your 10th
yeah.
season? Great."
Yeah. What is
Well,
that? February 11th?
yes,
Yeah.
February 11th, yes. Well, guys, you know where to find me. It is also called MAFS on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and please give me a 5-star rating if you please on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Like I always say, if you don't like what you hear, tell your friends in the group chat and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Until next time, guys. Bye.